Guys, welcome back to my channel This King. Today in this video I am going to tell the new lesson of class 7 NCERT book, first lesson, tracing changes through 1,000 years. Today in this class we are learning about our history before 1,000 years. Okay, now if we see here, we have a map right here, right? See the map. You can see the map here, right? There we can, now I am asking you a doubt. So will you say this is the India map or this is the India map? Say, I will give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I gave you 6 seconds. But now I will say the both are India maps. You are thinking, no, the first one is not an India map. So now we will see how it is an India map. Now at the 1154 years at the century, now we Christ time, an Arab geographer, here we can see the name ALID, he prepared this one. Here we have a spelling that cartographer. Cartographer means the man who prepares the maps. So at 1154 years, this map was created. At the time, the North India is in the place of South India and South India is in the place of North India. Here he is saying that this is the Sri Lanka. So now we have the Sri Lanka at the down right here, but he is saying we have the Sri Lanka at the up right here. Okay, then we'll check why he gave like this. At the time we don't have any satellite or technology to see how our India is, so he roughly drew this and say this is this is a map of India. So let's now your here and after 600 years, almost 600 years, at 1720, French cartographer, one French cartographer made this new map. See, this is almost likely to the India map only, right? But some places he did not. Now I'll read what is here. Take a look at the map 1 and map 2. One was made in 1154 Christ by the Arab geographer Al-Idris. The section reproduced here is a detail of the Indian subcontinent from his longer map of world. Map 2 was made in the 1720th century by French cartographer. The two maps are quite different even though they are the same area. In Al-Idris map, South India is where we would expect to find North India, and Sri Lanka is the island at the top. Place names are marked in Arabic. So here we can, I said guys, the North India is placed at the South India and the South India is placed at the North India, and Sri Lanka is the island at the top. Here we can see the full sentence. Okay, and here we see that place names are marked in Arabic. So they here the man wrote the names in Arab. Here we have something note here. We'll read that one. Map 1. A section of the world map drawn by the geographer Al-Idris is the 12th century, showing the Indian subcontinent from island to sea. Cartographer. Here now I will say the meaning of cartographer again. A person who makes maps. Here we can see the meaning of cartographer is a person who makes maps. So let's go to the second one. And there are some well known names like Kanauj in Uttar Pradesh. Here we have this name, right? In Uttar Pradesh, spelled in the map as Kanauj. See, the pronunciation is same but the letters are different. In map 2 was made nearly 600 years after map 1. I said, guys, after 600 years after map 1, the map 2 was made, during which time information about the subcontinent had changed considerably. This map seems more familiar to us, and the coastal areas in particular are surprisingly detailed. This map was used by European sailors and merchants on their voyages. So here they are saying that this map is similar to now our India's map, and the coastal areas are surprisingly detailed. These all are coastal plains are detailed. Okay, these maps are also used by European sailors and merchants on their voyage. Means at 14th century Vasco da Gama came, right? But this is 17th century. So they use like this other merchants and sailors on their voyage. They will give clear information at chapter 6. So map 2, here they gave something information about map 2. Map 2, the subcontinent from the early 18th century Atlas Novae of the something word DILS something hero. Okay, now here they give in a blue box something. Look at the areas in the interior of subcontinent on the map 2. Are they as detailed as those on the coastal? Following the course of the river Ganga, see how it is shown. Why do you think there is a difference in the level of detail and accuracy between the coastal and inland areas in this map? Give answers for this question in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, now let's get into the topic. Equally important in the fact that the science of cartography different in the two periods. When historians read documents, maps and texts from the past, they have to be sensitive to different historians' background. The contents in different information about the past were produced. So here we take some example, like somebody wrote a project of 5 pages and he gave to his friends to copy this and wrote, right, and one by one it will be decreased. One boy will write 5 pages, one boy will write, who will write 5 pages, he will write in 4 pages, one boy will complete to 3, 2, some will write at least in half page and give the project. So like that they also differently decrease the produced. Okay, new and old terminologies. Here we have the next topic, new and old terminologies. So if the context in which information is produced changes with time about language and meanings. So here the contents are produced and change with time. Day by day we are also developing, right? Like that day by day, year by year, they also change the language and the meaning. Historical records exist in a variety of languages which have changed considerably over years. So here from year to year our language and some things are changed, right? Language, words, like some anything we used to have Sanskrit, and it now we not Sanskrit, now we are using Telugu, Hindi, English. At the time we have Sanskrit and Prakrit, Sanskrit, different languages are there, no? We have in 6th class lessons like any other lessons. Okay, now let's read. Medieval presence, for example, is different from modern Persian. The difference is not just with regard the grammar and vocabulary. The meanings of the words are also change over time. Here they are saying not only meanings or grammar or vocabulary, the meaning of the word is also changed. For example, I'll say you something. Here he gave down historian. Today we call foreigners. Anybody came from other country, we call them as foreigners. But at the time, historians, for example, anybody came from another village, they were known as foreigners. Means nowadays we are saying them as strangers, but usually we call at the old time we call them foreigners. Like this, due to the time it's changed. Now another example. Take the term Hindustan. For example, today we understand it as India at the modern nation state. When the term was used in the 13th century by Minhaj Siraj, a chronicler who wrote in Persian, he meant the area of Punjab, Haryana and the lands between the Ganga and Yamuna. He used the term in a political sense of lands that were a part of the dominations of the Delhi Sultan. The areas included in the term shifted with the extent of the Sultanate but the term never included South India. By contrast, in the early 16th century, Barber used Hindustan to describe the geography. At the 16th century, Barber used to call India as Hindustan due to the to describe the geography. The fauna and the culture of the inhabitants of the subcontinents, as we will see later in the chapter, this was somewhat similar to the 14th century poet Amir Khusrau used the word Hind. He used the word Hind to describe the geography. So, like that it changed due to the time. First we call it as Hind and then it became Hindustan. Then we understand Hindustan, India. So, like that it changed. Now let's go to this one. This I said you right. Foreigner means complete. Now let's go to the historians and their sources. Historians use different types of sources to learn about the past depending upon the period of their study and the nature of their investigation. They use different sources to learn depend upon the period of their study. So at the world first time, they used to write on the rocks. They were known as scripts, inscripts and scripts. So they used to write on the rocks. Next it became as a cloth, any paper. Next books, like that they changed different sources. For example, you read about rulers of Gupta dynasty. We have this Gupta dynasty and some Cholas, like that we have in 6th class, right? So they had Gupta dynasty and Harshavardhana. In this book we will read about the following 1000 years. That about the 1000 years will follow to 700 to 1750. You will notice some continuity in the sources used by historians for their study of this period. They still really on coins. They use some coins to and archer and textual records for information. But there is also considerable discontinuity the number and variety of textual records. Now it changed to Hindustan, like that. We used to change the numbers and variety of textual records increased dramatically during this period. So they slowly displaced the other types of available information through this period, gradually became chapter and more cheaper and more. paper gradually became cheaper and more, so they wrote on papers, books like that. They wrote. The value of paper. Compare the following. In the middle of the 13th century, a scholar wanted to copy a book, but he did not have enough paper, so he was the written of manuscripts he did not want. Dried the paper and used it. A century later, if you bought some more food in the market, you could be lucky and have the shopkeeper wrap it in some paper. When was paper more expensive and easily available? In the 13th century or the 14th century? Okay friends, this is about our first part of the video, and in the second part of our video, the rest of the lesson I'll say you. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.